I make the world graphical.
I add value through my products.
I am an animator.
I am a filmmaker.
I develop trends.
I transform designs to reality.
I create environments.
I translate stories to furniture.
I design experiences.
I am an immersive media designer.
I design mobility.
This is not only a design institute.
This is a design lab.
Join us in our design movement.
Hello and good morning everyone. I welcome you all to the series of webinars and workshops by MIT Institute of Design. Since last 5 years, as a part of Design Connect program, we are interacting with design aspirants through various seminars, webinars, and workshops where experts share their experiences with the young budding designers. This year, we have moved one step ahead by keeping the sessions more interactive and engaging the students to get hands-on experience on various topics of design. So today's Design Connect, AABHASI DUNIA, where reality ends and imagination begins, by Professor Shakti Banerjee. I feel honored to welcome and introduce Professor Shakti Banerjee, design educator, professor and head of the Department of Immersive Media Design at MIT Institute of Design, MIT ADT University, Pune. A unique first of its kind master program in India has been formulated by him and launched in the year 2018, which is in the convergence of design with emerging technologies such as VR, AR, and tangible computing. He created Immersive Media Design's core structure, abstract, and curriculum to keep up with the fast-paced immersive technology industry. Also currently pursuing a PhD in design on the topic of immersive media applications in design education, and has published a couple of papers in Scopus Index journals. Recently, his paper on application immersive media got awarded Best Distinguished Paper at HWWE 2021 at IIT Guwahati. He is a former faculty in National Institute of Design, heading digital game design. He was involved in developing the digital game design curriculum and its implementation. With a master's in degree from NID, Shakti sir has carved himself as a fine professional with experience in various companies such as the Times of India, India Today, Ramoji Film City, ETV Network, UTV Mumbai, and ZTV Network, with various roles such as design officer, promo head, creative director, and VFX supervisor, among others. Over time, his explorations have been acknowledged at various levels in India and abroad to fuel more passion in him for more ventures in unknown territories. His expertise lies in areas such as immersive media, AR/VR, motion graphics, visual effects, system design, and interaction design. Awards: in the year 2000, Hey Ram, directed by Kamal Hassan, National Award for the Best Visual Effects. In 2003, Koi Mil Gaya, directed by Rakesh Roshan, won Screen Film Award for Visual Effects. Now I request Professor Shakti Banerjee sir to take over the further proceedings of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavika. It was a quite elaborated introduction. So, hi everyone, welcome you all. We are going to have a small journey, a kind of a adventurous journey for IMD, which is Immersive Media Design. And I'm sure you are quite excited about it. So let me share with my presentation. So let's begin the journey. So what we are having in today, we are actually talking about what is immersive media design, or what is immersive media technology. We are talking about AR, VR, MR, and XR. We'll give one demo by our colleague Hemant Wangikar on VR project HTCY. Then we will have an interaction with our IMD alumni, which will be very interesting. You will get to know them, those who are actually passed out recently. Then we'll have a panel discussion on future of immersive media. And then, of course, live at MITID and live at the rate of IMD. And proceed with that, we'll have a question and answer. So please be till the end. And I know it is a little longer, but I'm sure it will be, you're going to enjoy it. So let's begin about immersive media. So friends, we are now actually surrounded with all the gadgets. We are surrounded with, all kind of, it's all in the palm. It is quite pervasive, with you all the time. And it has become the all data, right? So data is now, it is like everywhere. So the next step is like, is getting into the virtual reality. The data is surrounded by you. You are within that, inside the data. Now, that is the future is happening, which is already started. We are talking about, you must have seen this already, right? Any guesses? Of course, it is a Iron Man and directed by Shane Black. So how he has actually visualized the things, right? And this is now become reality, right? So that is what is happening. It's all started with imagination, and then it starts with in the reality. So we are talking about now immersive media, which has become a reality nowadays, and with a lot of things. Like it is so immersive. Are you familiar with this? Okay, so this is actually from a very famous film called Dunkirk, and I'm sure a lot of people must have seen it. And Christopher Nolan is already famous for his films like Inception, a lot of science fiction films also. I'll want to share with you something very interesting about Dunkirk. So, I'll play one video. Are you able to see you hear the audio also? So, this is the sequence from film called Dunkirk. Now, what he has given an experience that, can you imagine this? It's a film and this is already shot in 360. So wherever I move my eyes, I can see all the things surrounded by. This is the aircraft. Look at this. I can look at behind and I can see the experience. Isn't it great? The kind of immersiveness you get it from the film. So this is what we are talking about, the magic of the immersive. You can obviously see it in the YouTube also. So let's proceed further. So what next? Like I'll just give you examples of what are the things are happening nowadays. Like obviously you maybe some of you may be the very hardcore game lover. So you have Minecraft. This is a very famous game, which is like your augmented reality sandbox games. Then I'll talk about what is happening with the, with the cricket commentary or any kind of commentary. So actually the coverage, live coverage, it becomes so immersive, like the TV guys, they goes inside the stadium and they're interacting with you. One very interesting thing. Can you imagine what it is? It is the first VR marriage, virtual reality marriage. And this was happened in 2017 in California. So what they have done is they created an avatar. These guys, Elisa and Martin, they have created avatar, and the participant, those who came for the marriage also, they came as an avatar. So this was the first time they've created a VR wedding. And now, of course, after pandemic also, you might have seen a lot of, they're trying to do something which virtually or Zoom meeting for, marriages and things like that because of this pandemic. And of course, this is what is happening now, which is you already, I think, must be aware of this. So now Apple is coming, maybe another, I think, next year or next to that year, and it will going to change everything. Even mobile phone, you will be really surprised that it might get vanished. So this is AR glasses, okay? So let's have a poll question right now. Let's see. That's wonderful. I think we got a lot of participants from design, engineering, fine arts. Great. So we'll proceed. So let's begin. We were actually talking about the industry revolution. See what happened in earlier days. There was a steam power engine, which is 1784. That was the industry 1. Then we have electrical energy. So that was become industry 2. And then we have automation computer, that was actually 1969, which makes the whole industry revolution 3. And now we are having cyber, physical systems, Internet of Things, networking, which is now today's world. So that is industry 4. So what is happening in the emerging technology and the dimension of communication and the, as I said, the data, it's also emerging. So what is happening with this data? What is happening with this emerging technology? And then, of course, what is immersive technology? So immersive technology refers to technology that blurs the line between the physical world and digital or simulated world, thereby creating a sense of immersion. So it gives a whole 360-degree experience. And what is this experience? Actually, we have the 5 senses in human. So we have like hearing, we can see, taste, or smell, or then touch. So using mostly the hearing and the seeing, it is all coming into the immersive technology. And of course, sometimes it is touch also. So as it is, I was talking about that immersive technology, there are different kind of immersive technology. So we have first is virtual reality. It's called VR. So VR is the representation of a real or imagined world through electronic media, electronic means, and it feels that you have in the real situation and its components. Whereas augmented reality is a live, direct or indirect view of physical real world environment, where elements are augmented, they're added into it. Mixed reality is somewhat a combination of AR and VR. Like most of the time, it is user is not shut down out with the rest of the world, but instead they will be inside the environment and interacting. And there's a now this word is quite popularly coming up. It's XR. So XR is basically the combination of all this MR, VR, AR. And again, the another word is called Web XR, which is with the IoT, which is talking about the web API and using that more into the interactive. So let's figure out what is actually VR, AR, and MR. So if you see on the screen, VR is a digital environment that shut out the real world. You are into another world. Whereas AR, it is like in the real world, and you're adding the digital content. Got it? And then you have MR, which is mixed reality, where digital content interacts with your real world. That's MR. So if we see this, you get to see that this is on my left side, it is a real environment, and on my right side, it is virtual environment. So how the things are happening with the tangible user interfaces, augmented, then goes to AR, and then goes to augmented reality, and then coming to the semi-immersive VR, and then finally goes to VR. So that's how this whole, like your mixed reality comes in between, right? So this is what we talk about AR, VR, and MR, and there is of course the gestures recognition interface, so which also gives you like with the hand gestures or in any human gestures, even your head gestures. So that is through lip motion. Then you have a haptic technology where you will actually feel, without even actually lifting the something, but you will feel the weight. So that's a virtual haptic. There's a lot of medical purpose. They are actually doing a lot of research, and it's happening. It's progressive very fastly. Then of course we are talking about VR headsets. So there are popular VR headsets like HTC Vive Pro 2, then Oculus Quest 2, Sony PlayStation VR, Valve Index VR Kit. So there are different kinds of VR headsets are available in the market. Then you have Google Cardboard, which is like you can make one Google Cardboard yourself with the card thing, and it is used with the mobile phone, and you can experience the 360 or 3D space. Then you have wearable devices like Google Glass, then mixed reality devices like Microsoft HoloLens. So all these things are happening, and this is the future. In terms of there's a Gartner hype cycle where they do the research, and they found out that each technology, how long it lasting, and they are saying that virtual reality and augmented reality are going to last quite longer, and till now. There's another person, John Maeda. He's actually a technologist as well as a designer. He's done it from RSID, and he's a designer. He has actually said that there are 10 emerging trends which is going to impact design. Like one is augmented reality, virtual reality, AI and machine learning, behavior of tracking, modeling, 3D printing. So likewise, so these technologies are going to be very important for your future. And what are the applications of immersive media? There's a gamut of applications of this immersive media, like in health sector, education sector. Of course, you have to give trainings. You can give it training for nurses, or for the education sector, for the schools or higher studies. Simulation experience to buy a car, or even for the defense people. Wayfinding, agriculture, then brand promotion, retail experience. When you want to buy a clothes or your shoes, you can use this technology and you get a more immersive experience. Museum, exhibition, performing arts events, assembly line production, futuristic visualization, and testing. And now what is happening also with the Internet of Things, a lot of things are getting much more advanced with using AR with the, you created digital twins. And of course, the trend happens after this pandemic. People have accepted AR, VR for the classrooms and things like that. The education field is going to tremendously use this media. And if I say as a forecast, it has a brilliant future. It has in 2024, it is going to boom like 65 billion revenue. Then, of course, there's a metaverse, which is a buzzword for nowadays. You will like Facebook and all, they're talking about meta. And even our students also worked on this metaverse concepts and all. So this is like creating the 3D virtual environment and interactive. So now let's have another poll questions. Nice. I think quite many of them are actually familiar this word AR, VR and all. That's really good. I will share another video which will give you the demo of what is like a VR demo.
Hi, myself Ahammed, and I'm here a faculty at IMD. So here I came here to introduce a project of my student. So he has created a splendid work to create awareness of climate change in our oceans. In the ocean, as you all know, the oceans are getting acidified, and hence it leads to the dying of the corals, and the corals are eventually going to affect the fish as well, and hence it will also affect the humans. Let me get you through the amazing journey he has created, and let's get immersed into it. So as you guys can see that he has created very immersive experience, very realistic one. Here we are playing a role of environmentalist, and as an environmentalist we have to go to the oceans and clear the garbage that we have littered. The garbage, we have to collect it and clean up the oceans. So let me take you through this journey. So here we have to just teleport with the help of the controllers of HTC Vive. So with the help of that, we'll start experience the journey of deep underwater. As a human, we don't even think about what we are littering and how the plastic will affect the oceans. That's why we have to create awareness of the oceans. Once you collect all the garbages, we'll able to see that the ocean is getting clean, and it seems nice actually. So after that, we have to go to the next level. In the next level, we have to save the turtle. There is a turtle which is affected with the plastic garbages. So he has stuck in this net, so we have to save him. So here we just have to remove this net and he will free away. So in the oceans there are thousands and thousands of animals getting stuck and get eat that plastics, and they will eventually die, and hence we have to save them. You can see the journey is very immersive, and the visuals are very realistic. He has created all the animation and the models for this project. As you can see here, he has created a timeline of a decade. In the decade, what will happen to the oceans? You can see the oceans is getting acidified, the color of the ocean is getting affected, it's getting changed, even the chemical pH of the oceans is getting changed. So he has created the timeline within a 10 seconds, and he can experience what will happen to the future of oceans. In IMD, we not only learn about the AR/VR design, we also learn about the interaction design, system design, as well as the coding. It is the mixture of all elements of immersive media.
So isn't it great? I mean, you can see what is happening with the climate change and what is happening in the future if we continuously do this pollution, and how to make people awareness, because people don't imagine, what is in the, it happens in so many after so many years. So with the virtual reality, you can create that awareness. You can make them realize what is going to happen as an adverse effect. So this is very helpful for anything and with purpose and with objectives. Okay, so let's have another poll questions. So good that you also feel that it has going to impact in day-to-day life also as AR, VR. One more thing which I want to tell you, because we are going to have a question answer session. So please, you can type it on chat box also, and be ready with your questions. Now I'll take you a little bit about our institute and MIT Editing University. So this is our institute, and see how big it is. So we have it's MIT Editing University and MIT Institute of Design in the part of that university. We have a different cluster of technology and management cluster, and there's a creative cluster. In that, MIT Institute of Design comes. In MIT Institute of Design, it was established in 2006, and there are so many now 11 design disciplines, and you can see it is globally it has been recognized and doing very well. So we have different programs, which is like industrial communication. Now then experience, we are having this immersive media design, which is MDes for right now. So let's begin with what is immersive media design as a program. So it is a 2 years program at MIT Institute of Design, and right now it is only masters. We haven't started BDes. As I talked about, like immersive media, we talk about this, as I said, the management for the knowledge and data, and that becomes the more important thing to start with this kind of a program. And this is first of its unique course in India. There's no other such course like that. So what is we are talking as a immersive media? It's a combination. It's a combination of different, you can say, trans-disciplinary. We have to first understand the user. So there's a UX, UI, then there's a animation, there's a retail space, lighting space. We talk about film and video, making up audio visual, and of course using the technology. So what is it is like that key designers roles comes where you know how to use the technology. Technology is not well always everything. So that's why designer's role is very important, and that's how this immersive media design has actually evolved. So what I'm showing here is those are the in the center you can see the design applications, and using the technology like AR, VR, MR, or 3D projection mapping, or even IoT. And there's a use of also trans-disciplinary design. Okay, so this is the whole crux of the immersive media design as a program. And as I mentioned before, also it is now the thing for the future. Yeah, so as I was talking about what is immersive media and what we are doing as a program, I'll give you a little brief about what we are doing in the program. So, of course, we are not just talking about technology, we are talking about a lot of things. We are talking about narratives, which is very important for any kind of communication as well as for the interaction. So we enhance, physical things, aspects of interactivity. We start the course with this, narratives in immersive, which is so interesting, and all the students love it because they have to make the experience with the, sound or texture or using anything physical, So that's a really one very good, a very interesting course with using dream and storytelling. Then, of course, there are a lot of aspects of design one has to understand. So there are principles of design. Then we talk about form and space, where we talk about virtual space, but before the virtual space, my students work on the physical, making the model, and they understand the space much better. Then we have a user research methodology, which is required to understand the user. You have to understand your methodology, how you do the research. Then, of course, there is a typography, which is another aspect of in virtual space. Nobody much take care of that, but one has to understand how the ergonomics, where we talk about cognitive ergonomics and typography. This is very important. We're talking about data visualization, which is a very important part. Nowadays, you must be seeing a lot of data visualization, metadata things are happening, how you concise it and put it in the virtual world. Then we have our students go through systems design. So it's a very holistic approach to understand the stakeholders and how your system works. So that's what I'm saying. We are not talking about just technologies for technology's sake. We are talking how these design elements are integrated and convergent with the technology. And apart from this, our students learn Unity, they learn coding, they learn different aspects of 3D model making, and then finally they create the prototype. So these are the things happens in our in IMD, and I'm sure you will really love it, because we also having one lab which we are having HTC Vive. We got Oculus Quest 2, we got Leap Motion, so we can explore the things. So, so far you must have realized that what are the things we are doing and what are the things are happening. So now you might be also having some questions that does it very technical, or we are like have to learn coding and all. So believe me, this is the desired skill set I would talk about is. One is passion, because passion is the most important thing. And you have to passionate to learn new things. Then knack for digital. I'm not saying that you have to be digitally expert and all, but knack, you should have an interest in the digital thinking or digital things happening. Interest in play with coding. See, the thing is, we are not saying it's a very rocket science that nobody can understand coding. Coding is simple. You have to have a logical thinking, but you should have also interest that you will learn coding. And you should be, of course, creative dimensions like drawing, sketching, modeling. Those are added values to your this thing. Observation is very important. Any discipline background is welcome for IMD. That is what I believe, because every creative person can create the values from any background. So we are open for, that's the one very good thing, that we are open for any discipline. And in this, of course, we are talking about start to end solution. Of course, you have to ready to face new challenges, and you have to explore and open to learn new software. It is futuristic design. And of course, we are talking also, it's not just future, but we talk about also social and cultural environment. We talk, there are courses which talking about how the technology is impacting the social and cultural life. So do not hesitate if you don't have any coding knowledge, because we have students, they are from animation, they are from fine arts, they are from architecture, and they are also doing coding. And we have also computer science background students. And with the industry, we are very new, we are very novel. I think we started only 2018, but we got a very good connection with the industry, and it's growing day by day. Interaction with our IMD alumni. So this is very important, and I think this is what I'm looking forward, that my students will interact with you. So now let me stop share and welcome my students now. Yeah. So they are from recently they passed out from Immersive Media Design, and I think let's go to we are three of them are here. Let's switch on your video and all. Shreya. Okay, so we have Shreya, Abhimanyu, and Shahid. So let me first begin with Shreya Bansal. She's one of the like very energetic and always like on her toes, and she has actually won a lot of awards also within this short 2 years. I think she had covered a lot of many things, and let's go to her and let's hear from her actually. So welcome, Shreya. Tell about your experience, about you and your achievement. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to come back to college and share your knowledge. So thank you so much. I will just share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible. So hi, everyone. I am an XR designer right now at one of the big 4 companies. And like Shakti sir mentioned, I have done my master's in immersive media design. I am a 2020 pass out. And over the period of 2 years, I had taken part in several competitions, among which I was a finalist in 2 global design competitions. One was RO Guiltless Plastic Prize 2020. And I'll be talking about one of these projects in my next slide. And the other one was designing a post-COVID cafe. So that project was represented and Global Design Summit VRARA 2020. So those 2 are one of my big achievements. And this is the one that I was talking about. This is the one that I submitted for RO Plastic Prize. And the project is called Vendo. It was one of the tangible computing design projects. And the idea here was designing a gesture-based vending machine that accepts plastic bottles as a currency and offers food, clothing, and beverage items in return. So I'll just share my video.
Never recycled. It's a scary fact. Chances are many of us don't bother about recycling plastic bottles. We simply throw them in the trash can, which ends up in a landfill, adding to an already growing problem. Recycling is a great option, but some people do and some people don't. But what if recycling was incentivized? In other words, the plastic bottles we paid for pays us back. To make recycling a habit, I try to tap into the transactional mindset of people who want something tangible in return for their actions. Introducing Vendo, a vending machine that accepts plastic bottles as a currency and offers food, clothing, and beverage items in return. Vendo is intuitively gesture-driven. No more pressing buttons to get a product, just point and purchase. Here's how Vendo works. A consumer deposits a plastic bottle in Vendo's input slot, scans the barcode, and earns reward points that are then used to pay for the items. Reward points also generate social media badges that a Vendo user can post online and spread awareness about their good deeds. Vendo would be placed at strategic high footfall points like malls, shopping centers, schools, colleges, business parks, railway stations, and airports, so that the users need not hoard plastic bottles and can simply drop them in Vendo after every use. On the partner app, we can even check the locations of Vendo online so as to plan their deposits. While vendor users exchange plastic for products, partner NGOs and eco-oriented startups collect all the plastic bottles and create useful products from them. A win-win situation for all. Vendor, forget cash, go plastic.
So yeah, that was this project. So ideally, the vision here was to make a behavioral change in the mindset of people using plastic and make their perspective change towards waste generation, making recycling fun and something they could share around and be proud of. So next up are my college projects. These are some of the college projects. Like Shakti sir already mentioned that we had a lot of different courses, and right from 3D, we over the period of time, we have learned a lot of different softwares, be it Unity, there was processing, there was a lot of other softwares that you have to learn on the go, and it depends on your concepts that you have. So these are few of them. Next, this was my internship project. So the topic here was designing a training program by the government of India to prepare practicing nurses to be able to screen cancers in rural areas. This is an image from Google, but since this is in India, I can't share the images, but this was the project about. We had to create a whole virtual training program. So right now, actually, I am working as an XR designer, like as I mentioned, and I'm currently working with projects with AR games and creating activations and gesture-based technology and Kinect. So these are few of the things that I'm currently working right now. So yeah, thank you, and I hand it over to Abhimanyu.
Yeah. Thank you, Shreya. I think it was wonderful, and I think all of our visitors also, I mean, they realized that how much work has been, taken place in last within 2 years. So now I will welcome Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu is again recently passed out, and he's been very creative actually from the beginning. His background is a little different. He's been into animation and things like that, and those things. And now he's into mostly work he's doing with the health sector. So over to you, Abhimanyu. Let's hear from you, and you share your achievements.
Thank you, sir. And it's pleasure to be back and talking to the future students of MITID. And thanks a lot, Shreya, as well. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so my name is Abhimanyu More, and currently I'm working as an XR product designer at Immertive. Where we are designing immersive experiences in the field of healthcare. My past experience and past education includes Masters in Design at Immersive Media Design, and my background is in Bachelor's of Applied Arts. So I'm from a fine art design background who got introduced to a lot of different technologies, and my interest in technologies brought me to the Masters of Design, and where I explored a lot of technologies as to solve problems, different design problems. So one of my projects during college time was creating an interactive music and art installation for autism children. So I'll just play a video to explain the concept. Played mirror.
I play the violin, you play the piano.
Okay, can you show me the piano? How to play?
So if you see, as the kid moves her hand in air through the sensors, it creates piano music, and as well as graphics are created. So basically, this project was the goal of this project was to bring up social and communication skills for autism children through music, interactivity, and visuals. So I'll just move on to my next project. So another project was an augmented reality amusement park mobile application. So where we are collecting real-time information of rides and then presenting it in augmented reality. I'll just quickly show in this video, there is data being collected, and the live feeds of CCTVs are being captured, and from the computer vision and Python, the information is captured and brought to an application. And from this application, and AR, the environment AR is based and entire data, and which gives us the entire data of the application, which rides are filling up, which rides are empty and accessible in the amusement park. So if you see, being from an creative background without having any technical or coding knowledge, and coming up with such an output where I have been exploring Python, OpenCV, and then taking the data into Firebase and bringing it into Unity and AR core, and creating an augmented reality application. So this is all what I could achieve through my masters at MITID. Another project was an promotional AR application for Bira as a beer brand. I'll again quickly just scroll you through the video. So the product is being scanned, the logo gets scanned, and then you enter an application. You select a player avatar for you, and in AR, then it's a multiplayer game where people can play the game while they enjoy the brand product. So two players can play and enjoy the experience over there. So another project was an VR training for emergency evacuation. This was a training program built for flight attendants while in college. So these are some of my projects which I did during my masters, and from which currently I'm working at Immertive. Immertive is a VR where we are creating VR-based training for healthcare professionals. So different situations like neonatal resuscitation is being addressed through VR. So healthcare professionals are being trained through VR, where they can learn and then practice and then perform in live environment with patients. Yeah, so this is from my end, and you can get connected to me on LinkedIn or get more details about my projects on Behance. And thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, Abhimanyu.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was great. I think, yeah, and the big thing is you now you're like become master of coding and all, in spite that you didn't have any knowledge about coding. So this is what I want to tell everyone, that you should not hesitate if you are not done any coding and all. But the thing is, we are doing with some purpose. It's not just only coding and coding, but the purpose is very important, and how we take it for the any social relevance or any kind of project which are having a meaningful outcome. So now I'll go to Shahid. Shahid is again It's a very interesting his career graph, and the interesting part now he's becoming like an analyst. So this course is also give you a lot of opportunity how you making things into research based and making it more futuristic based. So let's hear from Shahid. Welcome Shahid, and let's hear from you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. So, first of all, thank you, Shreya and Abhimanyu, for giving a very knowledgeable session. So, I just take a few minutes of your time and start mine. So, I hope you can see me. Yeah, you can see me. So, thank you all. Thank you for coming to this session and attending all the talks. So my name is Ahammed Shahid, and I'm a UX designer at Accenture, but I basically focus on creating XR experiences at Accenture. So today I actually want to take you through how I came through XR and how my journey through XR has gone and where I am right now. So that is the agenda for today, basically. So basically, every journey has a start. So mine actually started in 2015 or 2016 when I actually saw Google Cardboard and YouTube 360 videos. And that's when I actually understood there is a medium outside what our 2D screens had, and we can have an experience. And from the world also moved towards when the Pokemon Go came. We could actually see the craze around it, like when people used to just ride around the city just to catch Pokemons. So this all indicated to me personally that there's a very huge boom for this market, and people are actually interested in the technology as such. Also, there is an innate gamification and innate need that people actually want to do this. So then that's when I actually thought I should focus more on this and have an structural basis idea. So I decided to do a master's, and that's how I reached IMD after lots of research and things. I fixed that I'll be at IMD. So in IMD, as Shreya and Abhimanyu have said, we have done lots of projects. I just don't want to repeat any of that, but I just want to show one of the projects that I've done in IMD. So this is basically a ventilated training in VR. So this is actually done during last year when the Corona and COVID was like much more higher. So, and we didn't get ventilators much, and that was in news all day. So I thought of why can't we use VR to train people in VR, so train about ventilator in VR. So it's much easier in rural places where the education part or the training is not much sufficient. So I also show a video of this so you'll get a better understanding how it works. Can you see now?
Yes, we can see now.
Thank you. So basically, this is an experience that can be trained, and the user can actually go through the process of what happens. And even if there's a portion or something, they can take a precaution. And it also says what to do and see what all metrics you see, things like that. And they can actually finish the training. So basically, they say the training is complete and the training. So this is one of the projects that I've done. I'll just finish. So this is one of the projects that I had done while college was happening. After this, I did my internship at Siemens. So since VR and AR is a very new medium as such, and all the foundations of it are still getting built. So my internship was much more focused on research based. So I had to come up with an XR framework. So I've seen like most framework of what is a process that we are following. But in XR, since it's a very new medium, it's a very new medium. So since the medium is very new, the frameworks are not actually followed or created, and we are actually building it up. And it's a very exciting time to be in industry also. So my internship actually focused on how we could build that. How could we change from what we have, the design ideology, and it also had one more. It was a combined project. The other one was how can we use XR and data visualization to make better decision making medical scenarios. So, for example, when there was a lack of ventilators or lack of oxygen cylinders, how can we use data visualization and XR to take a better decision to see where the resource had to reach first. So it was a resource management project. And since it's an NDA project, I can't show you much, but this is a base of it. So this is what actually I've done till now. So right now I'm working at Accenture, and this is also an NDA project by the left. So I can't share much, but what I can say is me and my team actually works on creating experiences that Accenture can showcase to other clients and help them to onboard to the Accenture. So that's basically what we do. We do research, we plan the environment, we create the user experience for the XR environment, and many more. So that's what as a work as I do. And if you have any questions, please put in comments so we can also answer towards the Q&A sessions. And this is what I want to talk, where it would be. So this is what I've done. So to understand, everyone have been hearing about XR or even metaverse, and that is like the buzzword of this industry last 1-2 months after even Facebook changed to Meta. And every day there's a news about metaverse, and it's a very confusing, and it's still getting built. And to be in this industry, it's actually very, very amazing. Like each day you get to see new innovations happening, and you're much more thrilled to see where the world will actually go. Will we actually live in a very digital world? That's a question that we all might be answering. I think right now I actually call Abhi and Shreya also, so that we can talk more about the future and understand where the immersive media or immersive can be get.
Yeah, I think let's have a kind of talk for what is the future and what is happening in the immersive media as a future. So please, I think you can. Yeah, Shreya, you want to add on?
Yeah, so I feel this is a very exciting time, and this is in fact the correct time to be in this industry. A lot is going on, and since we are at the beginning of it, we define where this industry goes. So I think that's a really big thing, and the impact that we will be making is huge. So that's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. Abhimanyu?
Yeah, so it's definitely exciting time right now for all the designers, I would say, because there are a lot of technologies, not just XR, VR, AR, but blockchain, IoT, AR, AI, machine learning. All these technologies, they are very important tools. They are becoming tools for the designers, and these technologies, there will be a lot of said and unsaid problems which could be solved for the users as such, for all of us who are also the users of these technologies. So it's a very exciting time. All these technologies are developing and moving ahead with leaps and bounds as time is passing, and it's really exciting right now. And immersive, I feel immersiveness for through all these technologies is going to be a crucial point henceforward. Immersiveness with these technologies and solving the user problems through design, that's going to be fun and quite exciting.
Yeah, and immersive is not just about VR and AR, it is much beyond that. Right. It is about IoT and AI, it's about NFTs, the cryptocurrencies, everything. So when you talk about metaverse, it's the whole virtual universe. It is not just AR and VR, it is way beyond that.
Yeah, and the focus is actually with the purpose. It has to have some meaningfulness. That is what we are actually focusing as the immersive media design as a program. And of course, it has a bright future. And whosoever is going to join now, I think they are going to be pioneer for this field and industry. So it's a big opportunity for everyone right now. Yeah. And I think, yeah, Shahid, you want to add on something?
No, what you just said is right. Like what is happening now, it's actually, as I said, no, the foundations are being built. Like even we are focusing what is ethical, like what are the limit we can focus on, what experience kind of things we can. Even everyone is coming with each technology each day. So it's a very bright future and very excited to be in this part actually.
Right. And I think you should also talk about your life in at the rate IMT and what was. So yeah, why don't you talk about that also at MITID? Yeah. So Shahid, you can, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So as we all have said, no, like we have spoken about like the college, and it's actually coming together of different perspectives. As Sir has said, we had all different backgrounds and we all came together towards learning this new technology, new things. So we were all figuring out what to do and how to do it on the go. And we always had fun also, like we had all the VR things to work on, different projects to work on, and the class was so much fun. And also I think Shreya and Abhi also can talk about more.
Definitely. All these images bring up our memories of MITID, those 2 years together. So it has been a lot of fun, but also it's a very demanding program, and we need to be very dedicated. We had like it wasn't about a specific time. It was at times day and night working on projects, but it has been extremely fruitful for I think all of us. And yeah, it has been fun being there at MITID.
That's true. Like college life is always fun. And I think one of the best parts about IMD is the kind of different courses it brings together. So you're not just doing design, you're not just doing technology, you're not just doing business also. Like it's a mixture of everything. You always have to keep thinking. You always have to keep learning new things. Like I had also mentioned before, yeah, if you have a concept and it's okay if you don't know how to take that through, because the faculty is there to take you through that concept. But over the journey that you go to achieve that concept is what IMD is. Like it will take you through that journey, and it at each and every step you will have to push yourself. You'll have to keep learning new softwares. You'll have to find your own ways, but the whole journey is exciting. That is something that I can kind of guarantee you. It's always a learning process. So just be open to learning new ideas, be receptive of, engaging and sharing your perspective with each one of us. Because what happens is, like even in our batch, we were all from very different backgrounds. Some were from design, someone from computer science background, someone was from animation, someone was from business as well. So like it's a mixture of everything. And when me and Shahid had conversations, we had a little philosophical conversations. When me and Abhi had conversations, it was a different conversation altogether. You like you haven't thought about the user so much. So, when you talk, always share your ideas with people. You get different perspectives, and it's always good to have different people coming from different backgrounds. And I think that's what college is all about. So,
yeah,
and that's why we would really like to have you as part of IMD community. So please be on board.
Yeah. I think it is a lot of peer learning happens. I think we all enjoy as well as we learn, and there are at times there were a lot of pressure for work and all, but it's all fun. I think and everybody learned a lot. Even myself, I have learned a lot. I think our faculty, we have a lot of experts coming from the industry, so it is very agile to the industry. And the course is make it robust in terms of industry and its requirement. So very nice. I think what we can do is I will just share one video. It's a 5 minutes video, which is compiled of everything, and then we can go to the question answer, right? think now the time for our questions. What we can do is, yeah, I think, yeah, let's, I'll ask Shreya to moderate now for the questions. And I think something came in the chat also, and it is open to questions. So please, all of you can ask question also directly. That's not a problem.
So let's start with the questions and answers thing. One of the first questions that Akash has asked is, how can the immersive tech, one second, how can immersive tech be helpful in households considering the ability of people who are not tech savvy? Abhi, would you like to take this up?
Yeah, I think Abhi can take it up. It's his experience, right?
Okay, so I'll say that instead of calling it as immersive tech, I'll say the immersive design. How can immersive design be helpful for households? So these technologies are just tools, what I would add. And using these tools, we can create a lot of immersion and a lot of interaction for our audiences, for our users, customers, in terms of business as well. And when we say household, so specifically AR applications, like if you want to design your interiors of your house, so you can use a mobile application with AR on it, and place furniture in your environment, and see how things look around, and have an idea as to how you can plan your interiors. So that is one of the examples how AR is helping out. So now imagine having AR glasses on your forehead, on your eyes, and through these glasses I could just see things in my real world, as well as see virtual elements around it. Let's say Google, if I want to access some Google map, which is an AR based, and I want to go to a specific location, I would be seeing the directions through my glasses in the real environment, and I could just follow those directions. So these are very simple. Technologically, this could be complicated, and this could be quite challenging to build, but as a user it would be very easy for a user to just wear glasses and just interact with the application. So that way someone who is not techno savvy can still be using such immersive applications. Actually, there are a lot of people, these applications are already part of our life. Some of them are already part of our life, like the AR, which Lenskart is using for a long time. And then there are some applications like where AI is used a lot, like Google is using a lot of AI. All our phones, with all our smartphones, we are using AI, and we are getting immersed into different applications because of that. There are Instagram filters, which have been AR filters, which have been designed by users for other users. So yeah, so it's already there, and it's going to be there.
Yeah, very well articulated, Abhi. I would just like to add on to that, saying that like immersive tech is it's not about just tech savvy people. It's about likely he said that it's about immersive design. It's about how easy you make it for the user. So like we also mentioned before, it's not just AR and VR. It is together all the technology, which is AI as well, IoT as well. So simplistically, all you have to do is just wear your glasses and imagine looking at an AC and changing its temperature. So the idea is to have as many intuitive actions and gestures that you can do. You don't have to think and press a lot of buttons, go here and there. The idea is to make it very simple. So it's tech friendly. So the next question, sorry, Shahid, would you like to add anything on it?
No, I think what you all said is fine. Like it makes sense. Like just not thinking as an AR, VR, and thinking in a broader perspective of what all can be added, so that user feels. So basically, it's all about users, right? So what it's intuitive for the user and how that person or user feels comfortable. I think it's possible, and we are reaching at that space.
Yeah. Also to add,
Okay.
like, not just AR, VR, but IoT. IoT is also so much immersive in terms of households. There are IoT devices around us right now, so we can just by a clap we can turn on lights or switch off lights. Then we can the house acts according to a person, according to a user. If a specific user enters a room, the house would change the climate, change the temperature, change the lighting situations, could add some music to the environment. So this all calculates to the immersion within that environment. So that is all about immersiveness. It's not just AR, VR, but it's beyond just those specific technologies. It's completely design. It's immersive design. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question by Harshit Goel, it says, can you put some light on NFTs? Shahid, would you like to take that out?
Yeah. So the thing you have to understand is what is NFT. NFT, for people who doesn't know, it's non-fungible token. So what non-fungible token is actually, and it's actually telling that you are the owner of a digital thing. So basically, imagine you have a painting of Picasso right now. You have in a very physical form. But when the metaverse or when the future comes where everyone moves to a digital platform, you can't bring your physical things. You have to bring your digital things. So in that, you have to, so in digital, what we have to know is like, is this the real ownership? Who is the real owner of this thing? So in that sense, if we have a shoe or a dress or a character, avatar, so anything to know that this is the real person, we use NFT. So NFT is backed by blockchain and things. So the other use case of NFT that's developing right now is actually is a ticket system. So all these famous people are producing NFTs of their own. What they're actually trying to do is like, if you own their NFT, you could have one-on-one session with them, or have exclusive things. So it's like the exclusive pass for now, but later on as a virtual land. So I'm not sure how many of you know this. Virtual land is being sold. Like you can buy land in a virtual environment. So that can also be an NFT. You can be owner of that land. So if some famous person is also taking land, imagine some presidents are taking, or the musicians are taking land in that space, your land near to that also gets value higher. It's real estate in the earth, but in a digital form. So NFTs are the base of all of that. And it's a very interesting topic. Yeah, this is a very base for it, I guess. So anyone else has to share something?
Yeah, just one thing that NFTs is something that you have only one single copy in the whole world. No matter how many duplicates you make, it is, since it's based on blockchain technology, you can know who's the first owner of it. So there are no duplicates. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. Shai, that is again to you by Dhruva. She's it says, if you can shed light on how does XR analyst job differ from XR designer?
So basically, XR analyst also focus, as I said, we are creating the foundations much more. So we have to get data and analyze and see what is helpful for the user and make that changes. Also create the foundation for how the user gets into the medium and how their experience of each segment. So basically, there's no much difference, but we also contain a bit of data and analytics and things like that. It's pretty same, but it's just minor difference.
So the industry is very new and the specific roles are still being defined. So it is up to you how you take IMD as a course. It is up to you to explore. Next up is a question by Pranjali. She's asking, how should we start to prepare for this discipline? Could you suggest anything about this? Shakti sir, would you like to take this up?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. So what I'm saying, see, preparation is like, as I said, you have to be passionate. Passionate is the key word. You have to be observant. It is not that you have to learn, like we have already talked about coding and things like that. Yeah, this course actually demands your observation skill, your how you are open to learn new things, how you are active, and it is always thing with it's a mixture of both art and as well as technology. So be open. If whatever your work you have done, if you can showcase your work, and think what also you try to learn what are the things are happening surround you in terms of digital or technology. So be aware of that. I think that's is enough for to preparation. I won't say that there's a hard and fast anything very particular about this preparation. It is for any kind of design for any design entrance you have to prepare. It's the same. Okay. Only thing you have to be little more open and you have to passionate. We have to believe on your passion, and that's it. I think that's it. That is enough. Yeah.
So just to add on to that, you can just keep reading about the new technology, keep yourself aware what is going on in the market, and that's very important. Not just because you're preparing for the discipline, it just goes for everybody, whoever, even after you pass out, and even if you're in the industry, it's very important to be aware of what's going on around in the world. So, and always be open to learning, I guess. So next up is how is AR different from VR? AR is basically, sorry.
No, we have already explained it, but yeah, please.
So just to keep it short, AR is when you overlay digital elements in your real environment. And VR is a more personalized experience. You have to wear a headset to experience VR. You get inside a virtual world. That's the whole difference. Next is, we have already answered this one, what is IMD expecting from the applicants? Next by Swarnim is, how can AR, VR, MR is helpful for artists? Example, there is digital art, so can you make that also? Yes, Swarnim, you can make that. Abhi, would you want to take that up if you want to elaborate on it?
As an artist, we can create art in VR. So the way sculptors in real world create sculptures, so you can actually create sculptures in VR, create environments in VR, and so a user or your so whoever audience want to explore this art, they can go into that virtual space and interact with your art as well. So in real world, if there is a sculpture, at times if it is not an installation, you won't be able to interact with it much. But VR gives us that opportunity to explore it deeper. And as Shahid talked about NFT, so these sculptures, these art which is created in VR or AR, these could be sold through adding them an NFT, the non-fungible token, and using this token, these unique tokens, you could be able to sell your art through cryptocurrency or so on. So yeah, so it's going to be a huge market. And as we were also talking about metaverse, so there will be different arts like motion design PCs, then characters, even small shoe design or a purse design, or just designing a t-shirt. So all these virtual and all these in virtual products would be sold on metaverse, and these are all could be form of art as well in future. So there's a huge scope for artists when it comes to VR, AR, and all the future technologies. So it's beyond imaginable, right?
I know.
Huge thing.
So, yeah, there's a proper profession itself. You can be an VR artist. Few apps that you can explore is Tilt Brush, where it allows you with giving different brushes, and you can just explore your creativity without any limit of a canvas. So that's the impact of VR. So,
right. I think there are a lot of things even for artists, because even installation they want to make it interactive, and that can be done with AR, VR, and all. So I think we are actually going ahead with the already 12:30. So
just last question, if you want to take it up.
Sure.
This is by Vishal. How can you explore furniture via this technology? So Anybody?
I think.
Yeah, so other than AR, so I'd say you could design furniture in AR, VR itself. So right now there are tools as well, or you could actually, there is, I think, Devori, right?
There's actually this one, Wild. There's an application called Wild. It's specifically for architectures and civil designers and furniture designers, where you can actually design things in 3D and then import those things into the software, see it into VR. It also allows you to get into a virtual space using your like laptops or a PC. It also opens over browsers. So there's different way to communicate with it, and it helps you bridge the communication gap between different stakeholders. So
okay. Yeah, so I think
This
it's
one, no?
quite
Last.
nice conversation we had, and I think we can sum it up. Bhavika madam, can you please? So I think lovely, you guys have actually interacted and given a lot of sites. And over to Bhavika madam, I think we can sign off for this thing. Please, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank Professor Shakti Banerjee, sir, for the most interesting and inspiring session. Thank you to all the coordinators and technical team for the support, and thank you all the participants for joining us. To know more about MIT Institute of Design, kindly visit our website. For more any queries and details, please feel free to contact admission team. Now I request, lastly, to my technical team to please play the AV of MIT Institute of Design. Thank you all.
I make the world graphical.
I add value through my products.
I am an animator.
I am a filmmaker.
I develop trends.
I transform designs to reality.
I create environments.
I translate stories to furniture.
I design experiences.
I'm an immersive media designer.
I design mobility.
This is not only a design institute.
This is a design lab.
Join us in our design